Game of the Week. TNT KaTropa was so close to finally getting a measure of revenge against the San Miguel Beermen, the squad that had eliminated them in every conference so far this season. It was an 11-point lead with 8:45 remaining, and the KaTropa were in prime position to take care of business and grab their fourth straight victory. Unfortunately, it didn't work that way. The Beermen roared back into the game using a 19-4 run, completely swinging the momentum in San Miguel's favor. To make things even worse, TNT lose Roger Pogoy to an ankle injury which gave Beermen import Kevin Murphy even more breathing space to take care of business down the stretch. The result, a 107-96 victory that had everyone in Calasiao, Pangasinan buzzing about San Miguel's firepower. The Beermen have been struggling all conference long with the absence of June Mar Fajardo, but this game reminded us why San Miguel should never be counted out. Top performance of the week by a local. It was a toss-up between Calasiao, 23 points, 4 3-pointers, 2 assists against Northport, and Ronald Tubid, 16 points, 5 3-pointers, 5 rebounds, 2 assists against Rain or Shine this week. But for shock value and the out-of-nowhere angle, Tubid has to be the guy. Not a lot has gone well for Colombian Dip this conference. They started out with an 0-9 record and a 20-game losing streak that stretched back to their winless Governor's Cup campaign last season. However, one of the most bizarre subplots this season has been their mastery of the Rain or Shine Elasto painters. In the first 2 conferences this season, the Dip has always had their number. And that continued on with a 184 win on Friday. Tubid made a huge impact in support of the talented duo of Jeremy King and Rashan McCarthy. It wasn't the biggest point total, and he came off the bench in a supporting role, but Tubid showed that once in a while he still is capable of making 3-point bombs, Colawet rebounds and acrobatic floor tumbles, reminding everyone why he's one of the best entertaining players to watch in the PBA history. We need to enjoy him while we can. Top performance of the week by an import. We haven't been talking enough about Alaska import Mike Harris, but we might have to after his great week of basketball. Consider this, in 2 games this week, wins against Columbian and Blackwater, Harris averaged 41. 0 points on 60.7% shooting, 3.5 triples, 23.0 rebounds and 2.0 steals. The point total is not a typo. He finished with 44 against Columbian, then followed that up with a 38-point outing, highlighted by a booming triple plus of foul that put away the elite for good down the stretch. There's nothing flashy about his game, and he's been playing together with locals like Chris Panchero and Vic Manuel who have produced great performances. That's why it's so shocking when you look at the scoreboard and see Harris already with a 2020 game. He's just an absolute workhorse. Disappointing performance of the week. Things were looking up for the Elasto Painters after their easy 120-98 win over the Northport Batang Pier. They picked up their second after an impressive performance on the road against Barangay Ginebra and had a chance to rack up some wins with cellar dwellers Columbian and Meralco next on tap. Instead, it didn't work that way. Perhaps due to fatigue from a brutal schedule and the absence of key players in Raymond Almazan and Bo Belga, the Elasto Painters suffered back-to-back losses which has put their playoff chances in serious jeopardy. If they had taken care of business against Columbian and Meralco, they would have climbed to 4-2 and would have been in great position to finish in the top 4. Instead, With a 2-6 record, they're fighting just to stay alive. Their schedule coming up is also very tough. They take on Eugene Phelps and the Phoenix Fuel Masters on Wednesday, then the San Miguel Beermen on Saturday. Brutal turn of events. Must see for this week. The stakes are high for this edition of Manila Classico. The Magnolia Hotshots and Barangay Ginebra are currently on top, but with 7-2 cards, and a win could really cement their spot in the top 4 with a twice-to-beat advantage as a reward. Both teams are coming off losses and would like to get some momentum heading into the playoffs. The matchups between these two squads admittedly haven't always had the same kind of build-up. There have been times that one team has been on a losing skid, the other ahead of the pack, and vice versa. But Ginebra and Magnolia have been great all conference long, making this great rivalry even more compelling.